Hello everybody, back in good old Volusia County, Florida with my botany buddy Ticket here. Say hi, Ticket. Alright, that's enough. We're in an area called the Tiger Bay Game Reserve, which is a huge area of land that separates the town of DeLand and Daytona. And there's all kinds of good stuff, all kinds of different habitats out here. And this time of the year is real nice because you get all kinds of nice wildflowers blooming. Like over here we got Coreopsis. Now there's like 14 or so different species of Coreopsis in Florida. This is probably Leavenworthii. Looks like a little daisy. And some parts of Florida, they'll cover, an entire roadside. And you got a couple different species of Rexia out here. And over here, as I was driving by, you just see this blaring hot pink color. And can't drive by it without stopping and looking. Now this here is Sabatia dodecandra. Really nice wildflower. I don't really know much about these guys, but I do see them a lot in places where I look for carnivorous plants. And it looks like one of those Rexia species, like what I just looked at over there might be Rexia as well. I'm not really too good at telling these apart, but I know this guy because he has a lot more petals. But such a beautiful pink color. And you can see the inner workings there. There we go. Now, this guy's definitely going to get pollinated. Like, it's the brightest thing in the swamp. The unopened bud looks pretty cool too. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure I got this one right. Sabatia dodecandra. Alright, on we go. See what else we can find. Alright, we got a correction. That little pink flower earlier I told you was Rexia is not. That's Sabatia Stellaris. That's this guy. A lot more widespread than the last species that I just showed you, the dodecandra. Now you see this guy growing all up and down the side of the road this year, or this time of year I should say. Very pretty flower, like that inner star shape. I guess it's how it's got its name, Stellaris. It's a really nice time of year. Got all kinds of little things growing on the side of the road here. I'm not really too good with all my roadside wildflowers yet, but Florida definitely lives up to its name, the land of flowers. Look at this guy doing some pollinating. Yeah, get one more look at that. Sabatia Stellaris. Alright, dog's panting. Probably needs a water break. Alright, if you guys can hear over the panting dog, squeeze in one more Sabatia species before it rains here. Now I believe this is Sabatia Grandiflora. Another cute marsh pink. And a cute tired dog. Maybe he'll leave me alone when we get home. But yeah, I think Sabatia Grandiflora. I'm still getting all these guys down because there's a lot of different ones in Florida. But I think that Sabatia dodecandra is my favorite. That little inner star is very pretty. There we go. Alright, now, okay, I'm getting rained on, so get the heck out of here. Alright, I wasn't looking for carnivorous plants today, but somehow I always seem to find them. Down here we got a really cool species of Tricularia, or bladderwort. All these little yellow flowers. This is Tricularia Cornuta, or the horned butterwort. Cute little yellow flowers. And a really cool little ecosystem they're growing in here. And you could tell this is a pond during the wetter times of the year. And a lot of Tricularia do this. They'll bloom when their pond goes kind of dry. Nice little stand of them, though. I doubt that they're doing much trapping of food right now. All that brown stuff down there on the ground is their trapping mechanisms. It's got to be wet for them to trap food, I believe. Here comes the dog walking through them, of course. Oh, what's up, Ticket? Yeah, yet again. Tricularia Cornuta. Cool little carnivorous plant. Growing in a little dried out pond. Here's a cool little site down here. The Tricularia Cornuta growing right with a species of Rexia. Cool contrast, the pink with the yellow. Very cool, very cool. Never get tired to see any Tricularia. Yet again, Tricularia Cornuta, horned bladderwort. Very sorry about the road noise right here on the side of the highway in the Tiger Bay Game Reserve. But unfortunately, due to habitat destruction and fire suppression, Roadside is one of the only habitats you can find this group of plants at now, which is one of our native milkweeds. This is Asclepius Lancialata. And you can see those beautiful orange-red flowers. And I'm guessing they call it Lancialata because of this foliage here. Very skinny, lanceolate foliage. I just can't get over those beautiful orange flowers. Now the native milkweeds have it rough here in Florida because, like I said before, due to fire suppression, it's kind of stifled how these guys get around and the ecosystems that they like. They really like disturbance after fires. So you take away that yearly fire cycle, you lose your milkweeds, and then your population of your monarch butterflies goes down. And everyone likes their butterflies, so more milkweeds the better. There's a good population of them on the side of the road here. Yeah, look at that. Here's a fruit. Now in a couple of months this fruit will split open and hundreds of little tiny seeds will float away on the wind and start little new milkweed plants down the road. And the reason you only find these milkweeds on the side of the road like this, oh come on Ticket, don't eat them, it's poisonous, is because of the disturbance. All the mowing and driving makes that active disturbance that they like. And it's not just about the burns. You got to do the burns in the right season. You got to do the burns in the summer like it does naturally. Yep, Asclepius Lancialata. They call it the few-flowered milkweed. I mean, it's got a lot of flowers to me. Very tall plant too. Like a lot of these plants are like up to my chest or higher. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And you know, it's impossible to miss driving down the road. It's the only orange thing growing on the side of the road. And only right on the side of the road, just out of the mow line. That's the only place you're finding it. Alright. Go in for one more good little shot here. Yep. Asclepius Lancialata. Lancialata. Alright, I'm gonna get off the side of the road now here. People probably think I'm some kind of psycho homeless man with the dog. Alright, so me and Ticket here stopped off at another location. This is a campground that's near a town called Osteen, Florida. And this is right by a lake, and it's dominated by these huge, beautiful live oak trees that are covered in epiphytes. All kinds of good ferns and mosses and tillandsia. And we got native orchids too. Now, it's kind of hard to get the native orchids on film because they're usually like, 20, 30 feet up in a tree. But I know of this one spot where you can get right face up onto one. Look at that guy. Now this is Encyclia tempensis. Encyclia tempensis. Or they call it the Florida butterfly orchid is the common name. And you can see that cluster of pseudobulbs down there. Kind of looks like little onions or garlic cloves. With one, sometimes two leaves coming out of each pseudobulb. And these beautiful orange, rusty orange, yellowish, whatever you'd call that color, with that cute little pink lip. See if I can get it to focus. There we go. Yep, Florida butterfly orchid. Now there's a debate on whether this one or the jingle bell orchid is the most common epiphytic orchid in Florida. Because you could find this guy all the way from Flagler County, which is a little bit north of here, all the way down into the Keys. And yeah, like I said before, this guy's usually growing 20, 30 feet up in a tree. And it's actually got a second species of orchid growing here on the side of it. The guy looks a little bit different. Right there with the two leaves. That's Epidendrum conopsium. There's its old flower spike. Now that guy blooms in the fall. So we'll come back and see his flowers. Yeah, it's pretty cool. You get to see two of the native orchids growing right next to each other. So yeah, yet again, Encyclia tempensis, Florida butterfly orchid. And then you got Epidendrum canopsium, or they call that one the green fly orchid. Alright, see if I can see some cool stuff before I get rained out. One more shot. One more. And I actually have one of these growing on a palm tree at my house. And the pollinator that really likes them seems to be the little metallic green and blue sweat bees that we have here in Florida. There's an ant crawling around on it now. But having trouble focusing here. It's probably the rain. Here we have another good example of a invasive plant gone wild. This species of bromeliad is everywhere along the edge of this lake. I mean, look all the way back there. That's all solid bromeliad. And this one has some rather nasty looking thorns on it. So you get in the middle of that thicket, you're getting torn up. But they do have the most beautiful blooms. Look at that thing. Just like a big cluster of blooms, almost kind of looks like a pineapple because it's related. And just looks like a bunch of little roses or something. That's really cool. Probably attracts a lot of pollinators. Yep, invasive bromeliad, not quite sure what species, but it's thriving. Yeah, one more look at that, man. That's nice. Alright, we're here next to the lake. And, you know, nothing's better than a good old bald cypress. Look at that guy. Got the base where those roots spread out. It's probably, 15 feet across. If I didn't have the dog, I'd jump down there and get a closer look. Yeah, there's some big ones out there. And that's Taxodium distichum, bald cypress. That's not even too tall of one. It's just the base where the roots splay out. It's very huge. It kind of happens when they're right there in the water. But once upon a time, big forests of these stretched all across the southeast. And of course, greedy people came along and logged them out because the wood is great for building homes. It's long lasting and termites don't eat it. But yeah, definitely one of my favorite Florida native trees. Go down to Corkscrew Swamp and Sanctuary down near Naples, and they have the biggest ones in the state. I mean, they make these look like toothpicks. Give you an idea what the rest of the state looked like. Alright, I'm sweaty and tired. The dog's tired too, so I'm gonna go home now. Alright, bye-bye.